Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Arsenal just defeated Chelsea 1-0 in the Premier League. It wasn't a great game of football. We kind of just were marginally less bad. It was like a 5 out of 10 performance from Arsenal, but that was still just about enough to win the game because Chelsea were more at a 3 out of 10. We did probably do just about enough to deserve the result. Uh, but I don't think either team got even to 1 xg. It wasn't great, but Arsenal had more of the chances, had a few more shots and opportunities. There was really only one time where Chelsea looked like they might score, and it wasn't because it was a great shot, but because Raya tried to catch the ball and somehow didn't quite do that, so it went off his chest and then under him and kind of rolled across the goal line, but didn't go into the net. Just went wide. So that was a bit of a heart attack moment. But other than that, Chelsea didn't really have any opportunities to score. Arsenal a few times had some opportunities where Sanchez didn't quite do a good enough job at catching the ball. Like instead of catching the ball, he would knock it away or just not get a good hold on it to where the ball would hit off him and right back into the 18-yard box. And a few times Arsenal players had opportunities to get a follow-up shot and didn't do a great job at that. I feel like Rice had a pretty good opportunity early on where if he had gotten a better hit on the ball, it might have been a goal. Because Rice tends to be pretty good at those kind of shots, but he didn't quite hit the ball right this time to win over the bar. And that happened a few times where players just didn't quite get the shot right or didn't quite even manage to get the shot. Chelsea, to their credit, did get players in front of the ball pretty well when that happened. So even though Sanchez didn't manage to catch the ball, two or three players would usually then close down the angle and get in front of the Arsenal player that might have a chance to shoot. So uh, I guess Chelsea did okay in there. Still, I feel like Arsenal could have and maybe should have scored at least one more goal from an opportunity like that. Our one goal came from a corner, of course it did, though it actually hasn't been it's been a long time since we've scored off a corner. I don't think we have since the Tottenham game in mid-January. This one, I don't quite know if it was intentional or not. It kind of Moreno had his head down and it hit there and deflected over everyone and into the goal. Maybe he meant to do it, maybe he didn't. Either way, the ball was in the back of the net, so who really cares? 1-0 to the Arsenal, and that was about how the game went. Arsenal having more of the opportunities and more of the chances, but not looking that great. In the second half, there was a little bit where, again, we looked like we might have a few decent opportunities, but couldn't score on anything. We still are very badly missing Saka. And even if we had Havertz, I feel like we could have done better. I was a bit surprised that Ben White didn't do anything in that he wasn't played. I think we only actually made 2 substitutions in the match. Excuse me. And he did look a bit rusty in the Champions League game against PSV, but he has had a few he makes pretty good contributions to Arsenal's attack, and last season especially when we had Saka, Odegaard, and Ben White down the right side, it was really effective. And we maybe could have used someone who can cross the ball into the box like Ben White can. Um, but it wasn't meant to be, and we still won. I I think I surprisingly wasn't actually that stressed for most of the game. Because usually in a 1-0 game, I'd be very stressed and probably start stress pacing with 20, 30 minutes left to go. But I never really, it just didn't look like Chelsea were ever going to get a goal. Even in the last 10 minutes, they had more of the ball and actually had 59% possession. But they just really never looked like they were going to score ever. Uh, so there was that thing. I had a bit of confidence there, and Arsenal defensively were solid enough. Uh, Chelsea, though, also just weren't good. And as I said before, it's just neither team were great. Arsenal were just about a little bit better. and that was enough on the day to win. Um, so we're now second by 4 points, and that is a pretty big step towards just, finishing as high as we can. Again, I am mainly just looking to finish in the best possible way for the season now. We're not catching Liverpool, but we can still finish second, and I think it is important that we finish higher than third, for like we at least stay in the position we have been the last 2 seasons, so it's not complete regression. And again, just to finish as high as we can would be good. Uh, but I'm mainly just looking to get through the season. Unless we do something special in the Champions League, I kind of just want to fast forward until May and have things over with. So a win today is nice. It's always fun to beat Chelsea. We haven't lost in 3 years to Chelsea now, almost four even. We absolutely own London. But I don't know. Wins like these are fine. I'm happy enough with it, even if we weren't amazing. I'm actually not too worried about the game against Madrid because of this. Like we tend to play our best games against the elite teams, so a performance like this doesn't worry me too much because I'm used to in the Premier League. We have put in a lot better performances in the Champions League than we have in the Premier League this season. So yeah, I'm happy enough with this. I want the season to end. I just want to get through it. So wins are wins. That's good enough, even if they're not the most impressive of wins.